According to the Washington State Department of Social and Health Services at www.dshs.wa.gov, in Washington State there are currently over 10,000 children in foster care. Of these, over 2,000 are currently awaiting adoptive homes. Nationwide, that number rises to more than 129,000 children. Adoption through foster care is a complicated and time-consuming process. Today I will provide you with a basic understanding by addressing the 3 stages of becoming an adoptive parent. These are making the decision, meeting the children, and getting your day in court. The first step with any process is simply to begin. Adoption is a lifelong commitment. It is important to consider several factors. Why do you wish to adopt? And how will this affect your individual and extended family? After this personal decision has been made, you must then contact a social worker at DSHS. Generally, they will ask you a series of introductory questions, give you a basic overview of the process, and mail you an application. This lengthy application requires you to provide in-depth information regarding your childhood, personal beliefs, finances, medical history, and criminal history. You must also provide personal references, have your home inspected, and attend classes. This process often takes more than several months. So you've completed the first step, and now it's time to meet the children. Children come into care for many different reasons. Most have suffered various forms of abuse and neglect. Many have been exposed to drugs and alcohol, and most feel a sense of guilt, abandonment, and loss. According to DSHS, the placement process is a smooth fairy tale-like process. First, a social worker calls you with information regarding a child. They provide you a complete background on the child. Visits begin at a neutral location, and several weeks or even months later, the child is placed with you and you begin the paperwork for your day in court. I have been a foster parent for more than 18 years and completed my first 4 adoptions 9 years ago. It is my experience that this timeline occurs in a matter of hours. The timeline for placement occurs in a matter of hours versus weeks. It usually begins with a phone call from home finders. They ask you if you have room. They provide you with a sketchy background on the child, and if you agree to take placement, they make arrangements for immediate pickup. Children often come to you from an emergency placement home or facility. Achieving the final step, your day in court, is never a guaranteed thing. Most biological parents have a strong desire to have their children returned. They have more than 12 months to complete the necessary steps. They are required to attend classes, counseling, and meet whatever goals are set up by the social worker. During this time, they are allowed visits with their children. Many children are returned home, many are placed with relatives, and some become available for adoption. Before biological parents' rights are terminated, periodic court reviews take place. With the input of the social worker, a judge decides whether the child should remain in care, what visits should entail, and what services need to be provided. The foster parents are asked to provide information regarding the current emotional state of the child in care, and allowed to come to court, but they are not given the opportunity to have any say in what they believe is in the best interest of the child. I am an exception to that rule. Several years ago, we met Sam. We were his 3rd foster home. At only 2.5, he had seen it all. He was born to a meth addict, suffered severe abuse, neglect, and lived in a state of filth. He could open any container in efforts to obtain food. Sam became an instant member of our family and our hearts. After 3 months in our home, he was sent to live with his biological mother in a drug rehab facility. It was the hardest 10 days of my life. but his biological mother was caught trying to kick him down a flight of stairs. When I picked up Sam from the DSHS office, he said, "Mommy, I missed you." This was not the end of the turmoil. His biological mother skipped town for 2 months. Upon her return, she requested and was granted visits twice a week for 2 hours. Sam would sob, soil his pants, and have to be peeled off of me by the people supervising. I begged the social worker to stop the visits. At the following court review, the social worker claimed he forgot to submit the paperwork because he was busy. I hired a lawyer and eventually was granted the right to intervene. Only a handful of foster parents in Washington state have received this right. We were able to cut visits and require them to be under the supervision of a specialist. Eventually, the visits were stopped, parental rights were terminated, and as of May of 2009, Sam became permanently a Hoyt. It took 3.5 years. He still has dreams of being choked and has been diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder. He is only 6. Every case is different, but adoption through foster care is not for the faint of heart. It's a tumultuous experience. From the decision to adopt, to meeting the children, to finally your day in court, it is full of uncertainties. I have provided you with a basic understanding of the adoption through foster care process. Adoption is not for everybody. The decision is up to you.